Hey guys, Teacher Scott here. I'm here today to talk to you about unit assessments. Unit assessments are one of the gems of VIPKID. I really enjoy doing unit assessments. I get excited when I see them on my schedule. But I remember the very first one, I thought, how the heck do I do this? So I want to make a quick video for you to talk about it. Unit assessments happen twice within a unit. There's a mid-unit assessment and a final assessment. So let me talk to you about those assessments. Um, in lesson 5, the unit assessment project is first introduced. So if you see that you're teaching a lesson 5, you will know that there will be slides at the end where you give them the three options to do the project. In lesson 6, they have their first assessment for the unit. And this is where it was confusing. There is no project presentation in Unit 6 or Lesson 6. Although you do talk about it and it is an assessment, the project itself is not due in Lesson 6. So in Lesson 6 you will do the assessment, and I'll talk to you what that looks like, but the project is not due. You can remind them of the choices and talk to them about what they're going to do. In Lesson 11, this is a review lesson, and the project is reminded again. So it's review, and you say, and don't forget, you have a project due in lesson 12. And then lesson 2, this is assessment 2, and the project due. So 4 of the 12 lessons will at least reference the project, and it is only due in lesson 12. So let's talk about a unit assessment then. A unit assessment can seem really intimidating at first. When you open up those slides, you see there's probably 45 to 48 slides, and you go, how am I supposed to do that in 25 minutes? You'll find that you actually will fly through them, especially if you have a kid who's really strong. You're not spending a lot of time on each slide. Many of the slides are saying like begin level 1, or yay, you found a star. And so you're flying through them. You're not spending a lot of time on each of those slides. You may actually find that you finish in 15 minutes or 10 minutes. It's super important that you stay in the classroom until 25 minutes with this kid. Um, so what do you do? Well, one thing you could do is extend the material. You can talk to the kid. If it's a kid that you've had many times, you might just engage in conversation. If it's a kid you don't know, you can try to get to know them a little bit more. You can talk about the material in the slide, in the assessment. If it's about animals, you can show them pictures of your pets, or you can ask them if they have animals. But you have to teach for 25 minutes. Some people will play a game. I would encourage you to make sure that that game is at least educational, and hopefully connected to the curriculum that you've been doing. Games with sight words make a lot of sense, but just time fillers don't. And so just be careful about that. People have gotten negative reviews because they've either left the classroom before 25 minutes, or they've just tried to like waste time. Try to make that time meaningful. These parents are spending a lot of money for you to work with their kid, and so they deserve you to really put the time in and the effort to help their kid learn English. Um, what else? What I like to do, there's a rubric that you have to fill out. I like to open the classroom and click add feedback, and the rubric pops up. And then I'll open up a new tab in the same browser and go back into the teacher portal and relaunch the classroom. And what that will do is will log you out of the video portion of the first window you opened, but the rubric will still stay open. And then what I do is I zoom out to about 70% maybe on both of the windows, and then I drag my rubric down to the bottom and keep my video up on the top. And so then I'm able to click and scroll through the rubric while we talk and make observations. It's hard sometimes to go back and go, let's see, how did he do on that question? Also, the answers to some of the questions are on the rubric, and so having it up is helpful, especially some of the stuff you may not know, especially like my country, my culture unit. There's pictures of monuments and buildings in China that I don't know the names of, but the kids are supposed to. And especially if you haven't taught the lessons prior. I've noticed I often am giving assessments to kids that I don't see otherwise. It's almost like they're encouraged to take assessments with teachers who didn't teach them the main material. Yeah, so we talked about the rubric. I want to talk to you a little bit about reward systems with assessments. I actually don't do a supplemental reward system on a unit assessment. Um, I do the stars. Mainly, I just feel like it's a little weird because you're not teaching any new material. So, like, just doing another reward system just feels, I don't know, feels kind of hokey. I'll warn you if you get negative feedback. I've heard that VIPKID will never invalidate feedback if they don't see that you've done a secondary reward system. So just keep that in mind that to kind of cover your butt, you may want to have that secondary reward system all the time because that's what they say. They say that that's what you need to do. So if you get negative parent feedback and didn't use a supplemental reward system, they're not even gonna invalidate it or even think about it. I use limited props in the unit assessment as well because the lessons it's stuff the kids already know, and I use props to help get kids to understand. What does it mean to hop, or what does it mean to fly? I just did a lesson on how animals move. So I don't use a lot of props in the unit assessment, but if a kid's gonna fly through it, it might be good to have the props handy to extend the work afterwards. So, long story short, don't be afraid of a unit assessment. They're a lot of fun. When I see a unit assessment pop up, I'm really excited because I know it's going to be good. The kid's seen the material. I really never have had a kid just really struggle. It's stuff they've seen, it's stuff they've been working on, and it gives you a good opportunity to make a good impression and maybe grab a new regular, somebody you'd love to teach again. Um, be careful, you can't submit your unit assessment rubric at this point until after 30 minutes exactly. So in a regular class, you can click submit feedback, at 26 minutes if the kid left at 25 and you wrote feedback. Um, but for the unit assessment, you cannot submit it until after 30 minutes on the timer. Um, and that can be a little bit hard if you have a class right after. So typically, again, if I've opened that second window, I minimize the rubric, go teach my next class, and then when I give feedback to the next class, I'll remember, oh, I need to click submit, and I go back to that window and click submit. So that's what I can remember to tell you about unit assessments. I'd love to help you become a VIPKID teacher. You can use my referral code below. If you know somebody, especially guys, I feel like I can give good feedback to guys about how to do this job and not have to be over the top, crazy, kooky, all of that kind of stuff. So comment, share, like. I'm happy to respond to all your comments. Share this on social media. Yeah, and check out my other videos. See you soon, guys. Bye.